Right now, the Sun Prairie School District taking a new approach to stop issues with bullying, how teachers, parents, and community leaders are getting involved.
And Madison police officers are under investigation after being caught on camera punching a teen having a mental health episode. What Police Chief Mike Koval has to say.
Plus, technology saves a missing teen, how the Amazon Echo helped officers find his family and get him back home safely.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. The Sun Prairie Area School District is starting a task force on bullying after multiple incidents in the district.
The latest happening just yesterday. Amy Reed joins us now from Sun Prairie to show why parents say action is necessary. Amy?
A video was posted on Facebook yesterday showing two girls fighting, and this is part of an ongoing discussion with bullying in this district that's been going on for months, and now the district is trying something new. This video made its world debut yesterday, showing two girls at Cardinal Heights Upper Middle School exchanging punches in the cafeteria. One of the girls' moms said it's not the first time she's seen bullying at her daughter's school.
You know, there's just so many. It's a lot of it's been with the same girl, you know, and they just threaten each other that I'm gonna beat you, or and they go back and forth on that social media all the time.
She said previous conversations with the principal here have seemed to go nowhere, something other parents across the district have expressed frustration with before.
I know that whenever other parents and myself have gone in the past, they've been told, we're on top of it. We'll take care of it. No problem. Safety is our #1 priority. But then things like this continue to happen.
The district has said the need to keep student information secure has made it seem like they aren't doing anything, but they said they take this seriously. Now they're trying a new approach. In an email to parents yesterday, the district superintendent and board president said students who fight at the school will be brought to the board for consideration of expulsion. They're also starting a task force on bullying this summer that will look at current practices and make a recommendation to the board for future decisions.
We need a full community effort in wrapping our arms around our kids and understanding where some of this is coming from and how do we support kids getting through that and so that they've got a more positive experience, not only in school, but in their daily lives.
For Chris Wayland, who is considered just homeschooling her child, she just wants kids held accountable.
Up here, people know that they don't want their children to come to Cardinal Heights because it's violent, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Weber says that he doesn't know what the outcome of this will be, but he's ready to hear people's experiences and see where it takes them. The email said that these recommendations the task force comes up with will be made available to the community.
Amy Reed reporting tonight. Amy, thank you. Parents of students in the Sun Prairie Area School District will be paying more for their students' meals starting this fall. Lunches will increase by 10 cents and breakfast will increase by 5 cents. The school will use the additional revenue to provide healthier options. Students in the free and reduced meal program will still have free meals.
Turning things over to weather now. Another beautiful summer-like day. Looking live from our News 3 Now studio, Sky Cam, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with our first alert forecast. Gary?
Looks like the next couple of days will be just as nice with high temperatures in the lower 80s and plenty of sunshine. Now today, there was some early morning fog, especially over the western parts of our viewing area that dissipated, but you can see that there were a couple of showers and thunderstorms that developed over far southwestern Wisconsin and a couple of showers near Beloit. Those are drifting into northern Illinois and dying out pretty quickly. Current temperatures are pretty warm here in Madison. We're at 84 to the west. We're seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. A lot cooler near Lake Michigan, though. Milwaukee at 60, Waukesha at 70, so you can tell where that lake breeze front is. The air is drying out to the north. Dew point temperatures are dropping into the 50s and 40s. So by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the mid 50s. There shouldn't be as much fog by early tomorrow morning. Then look for a sunny day tomorrow. It'll be warm with a high of 81. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
An update to a story we first shared yesterday. Madison Police Chief Mike Koval is now speaking publicly after accusations of excessive use of force.
A leaked video shows officers punching a teenager multiple times during a mental health crisis. Keely Arthur joins us now with the very latest.
Well, that incident happened on Monday. The officer at the center of this now on desk duty. Here is part of that video showing officers responding to the home of a 17-year-old Madison boy. The teen was experiencing a mental health emergency, and officers were called to help transport him to the hospital. He reportedly exhibited threatening behavior and was restrained and punched multiple times by officers. A spokesperson for the teen involved describes the video as violence against a black child. And race is the focus of many social media comments. However, Koval says that's not the issue at hand.
The race issue is a sort of subliminal in everyone's mind, but I hope that ultimately we're looking at this based on the objective reasonableness of the facts.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and other city leaders have called the incident disturbing. The Madison Police Department has launched an internal investigation. Koval is also having a third party review the incident, given the intense scrutiny the department has received. As a result, it's unclear when either investigation will wrap up.
All right, Keely, thank you. Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center tonight, a jury awarded a $15 million to the family of a bicyclist killed in a 2015 crash on Madison's west side. That is according to the family's attorney. 23-year-old Emily Zhu was on a bike trail crossing Raymond Road when she was hit by a car. She wasn't wearing a helmet and died later at the hospital. The jury found the driver, Brian Hodgson, at fault in the crash.
Madison Police Department welcoming its newest canine to the force. Community members got to meet canine Archie today. This was at the Midtown Station. He is a dual-purpose dog, meaning he can do tracking as well as apprehensions. Archie and his handler, Officer Emily House, graduated from a 6-week school over in Michigan. Today is the 75th anniversary of D-Day, the storming of the beaches at Normandy, seen as a turning point in World War II. And if you want to see artifacts that were actually there, the Wisconsin Veterans Museum has opened a new temporary exhibit. That gear being featured was worn by a Milwaukee native who was in the Navy at the time. It'll be up in the lobby through the end of the month. The Amazon Echo saved the day for a missing boy by helping reunite him with his family.
It started with a 16-year-old boy with Down syndrome who went on a bike ride and ended up on an entirely different journey. Jamie Perez joins us now with how a simple command for Alexa helped this boy find a happy ending. Jamie?
All right, well, this all started with that boy going on a bike ride around his neighborhood, but ended up getting lost. He walked into a home that he had been in before about a year ago, but this time it wasn't owned by the same people that he knew anymore. He looked around the home and did not recognize anything, but he did see an Amazon Echo. He said, "Alexa, call mom." It ended up calling the parents of the people who now live there. The father ended up answering, but couldn't understand what the boy was saying. He got worried and called 911. When paramedics showed up, they figured out this boy was lost, and after calling the dispatch center, they linked him to the boy who was named in a missing person report. They ended up reuniting him with his family.
It seemed he was confused. He certainly was familiar with the environment, but not familiar with who lived there anymore. But he saw this familiar device and knew what to say. And although it didn't connect him with his mother, it did get him the help he needed in the end.
This all happened within a matter of a few hours. The boy ended up just being a mile away from his actual home. No one was hurt, had a very happy ending, so Alexa saved the day.
Still to come tonight as school gets ready to wrap up for the year, meet the group of kids spending their afternoons doing something good.
Plus, the Janesville School District says half of its students rely on free and reduced lunch programs, how they're feeding those children this summer. That's just ahead. Even once this school year wraps up, a group of teens will be spending their summer afternoons serving food to the homeless downtown. These young people dishing out free food, bottled water, clothes, and toiletries at the top of State Street. They're from the Boys and Girls Club. The weekly visit started after their custodian, Yulie Williams, retired last fall. He was once homeless, so after his shift, he would come downtown and hand out sandwiches. One of the teen program directors, Jackie Wells, saw an opportunity to expand on his kindness.
Anything could happen in life that could wind you up in this situation. So I just want them to realize, that there are a lot of people out here less fortunate than them. So they make me proud every week.
Now, if you want to help with the Yulie Project, you can drop off food, bottled water, and toiletry donations at the Boys and Girls Club.
Paul McCartney performs at the Kohl Center tonight. His plane arrived about an hour ago at Dane County Regional Airport. This is his first appearance in Madison. It's part of his Freshen Up tour. There will be no opening act. It's just the 76-year-old performer and his 4-piece backup band. The tour is said to be focused on getting him into new venues. After this, he heads to Lambeau Field for a Saturday night concert in front of 50,000 people. Still ahead tonight, a preview of this weekend's More Than Pink Walk. And in sports, the Brewers bounce back from 2 blowout losses to the Marlins.
But first, things stay warm into the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti will have his complete forecast when we come back.
The annual Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk is just 2 days away, an event that brings together breast cancer patients, survivors, and a group known as Forever Fighters.
Now, these women have metastatic breast cancer, a stage 4 cancer that has spread to other parts of their bodies. Right now, it cannot be cured. Lori Nelson is part of that growing community of Madison women fighting and beating the disease, even though they will likely never fully defeat it. Right now, about half of the women living with metastatic cancer live 2 or 3 years. Half live longer than that. Lori is now part of that second group, living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer now for 3 years.
They say that with all the research and things that are out there now, that it's not quite like if you were living with diabetes or something like that, but it's that same kind of management of medications and things like that, that you can just kind of proceed with life.
The future is better than the past. We can only give you the timeline of what happened to the people 10 years ago.
Lori has some valuable advice for anyone fighting any stage of breast cancer, as well as for their family and friends. And we'll hear from a UW doctor at the forefront of metastatic research. Find out the treatment options that could soon be available for people like Lori. That's ahead tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
For students on free and reduced lunch, the summer months can create challenges when it comes to food. One Rock County district says this applies to more than half of their students. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter explains.
While for some students, summer vacation might mean relaxing or taking a break from school, for others, it can create the question of where their next meal is going to come from. The School District of Janesville says they have a plan to help with that. It's lunchtime at Adams Elementary School, and pizza is on the menu. So is fruit and baked beans. This is something the district's nutrition manager prides himself on.
Get more whole grains, proteins, fruits and vegetables.
Because after all, food is fuel.
Makes them more alert. They'll have more patience. They'll have more energy.
But for half of these students, that fuel is harder to come by, with the district now saying more than 50% of its kids are in poverty and get lunch for free.
Well, it really concerns me.
Superintendent Steve Pufall says the free meals given to half his students are a necessity.
Human bodies and the brain need rich, nutritious food to develop appropriately.
So when school is out for the summer, the district says it needs a plan to keep kids fed. So that's why this summer, they'll have free lunch each day at several locations around town.
There's no strings attached. The only string is that they have to sit there and eat it. We've had summers where we've served 70,000 meals during the summer.
Pufall says these free meals, which will be served at schools, parks, and libraries, do more than just feed students. Ultimately, he says he hopes it will help to reduce the number of kids who need the help in the first place.
To make sure their very basic needs are met in a way that allows them to thrive and have a chance to change the poverty cycle and the trend line in their family.
Superintendent Pufall says these meals are available for any student who qualifies for free or reduced lunch already during the school year. Most importantly, they're free. In Janesville, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
The Summer Meals program will start June 17th and run through August 16th.
And you can find a full list of locations on our website, channel3000.com. Well, for the most part, a pretty beautiful, almost summer-like day out there, but there was one little pocket out there with some interesting weather.
Yeah, just over southwestern Wisconsin, we had a little shower and thunderstorm pop up. And take a look what one of our viewers saw. This is from Jason Gethy, and just west of Platteville, a brief little funnel cloud popped out of the clouds. Now, the weather pattern was such that we're behind a cold front. It's just a lot of cold air aloft that made the atmosphere unstable as temperatures warmed up into the mid to upper 80s, and the humidity levels were still fairly high. But every once in a while, you get one of these what we call cold air funnels to pop up. If they do occur and they do touch down, they'll be normally pretty weak and generally don't cause a lot of damage. Although, those of you who remember the John Lancaster tornado back in 1990, that was a cold air funnel, just happened to touch down in an area where it could do a lot of damage. So if you do see a funnel cloud, obviously, you want to stay away from it and take shelter until the storm has passed. But you can see just how small this little weather system was. I mean, it was a little shower and thunderstorm that kind of popped up and then just dropped south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line and pretty much is gone now. The live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville looking in that direction shows more sunshine now at this point, and the WISC Skycam also showing partly sunny skies, hazy sunshine at that. As we check out our almanac for today, our high temperature in Madison, 84 degrees so far, the low temperature 57, and right now we're still at 84 degrees with partly sunny skies. The air is calm, the humidity at 40%. As we take a look at current temperatures, they're generally in the middle 80s through much of southern Wisconsin, although Dubuque did drop off a little bit as the shower and thunderstorm passed. But look what's happening in Lake Michigan. Milwaukee right now only at 60 degrees. A lake breeze really kicking in there. Chicago at 74. The lakeshore areas, though, are about almost 20 degrees cooler. And dew point temperatures are coming down, too. Notice they're in the 40s and 50s to our north, 60s to our south. The air is starting to dry out, and that will lead to temperatures in the mid-50s overnight. You see the winds pretty light across much of southern Wisconsin. Now, as we take a look at weather trends, track. The upper level winds are still from west to east here, but more of the moisture is being trapped down to the south across the southern part of the United States. Notice the subtropical jet stream that has dropped to the south, so that's keeping most of the shower and thunderstorm activity farther to the south and away from us. So our weather's going to stay pretty quiet over the next couple of days. Surface weather map shows a weak cold front to the north and west and another one farther out to the west, but temperatures are generally warm, and even behind the cold fronts, the air is not significantly cooler. Notice International Falls, Minnesota behind the front, 77, Minneapolis ahead of it, 85. Temperatures are in the upper 80s to around 90 through the Dakotas and much of the plain states, but the dew point temperatures are higher farther out to the south, and with time the air will dry out a little bit more in our part of the Midwest. So as the next weather system develops out to the west, it's not going to have a lot of moisture associated with it. That's why our weather will stay relatively quiet through the weekend. As this weak cold front approaches from the north and west, it could trigger a shower or thunderstorm by Sunday afternoon. So for tonight, look for skies to become mostly clear. It'll be pleasant, low temperature dropping to 54. Tomorrow, look for sunshine and another warm day with a high temperature of 81. On future track, notice the clouds going away tonight, temperatures dropping into the middle 50s by morning. Tomorrow, look for high temperatures in the lower 80s with plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow night, back to the mid 50s for overnight low temperatures and high temperatures into the lower 80s and upper 70s for Saturday. Now on Sunday, there is a chance for a shower or thunderstorm on Monday, and generally and Tuesday a little cooler, dry, and then we'll see a thunderstorm chance on Wednesday. Toward the end of next week, temperatures will warm back up into the mid to upper 70s.
The Sun Prairie Cardinals work overtime to get to the state semifinals in WIAA softball. The story's coming up in sports. The Sun Prairie Cardinals softball team could probably start getting mail at Goodman Diamond because it's become their second home. The Cardinals make their third straight trip to the state tournament, and the defending champions play Waukesha North in the Division I quarterfinals this afternoon. Sun Prairie is leading 1-0 bottom of the 7th. When Maddie Gardner threw a pitch over the head of the catcher, the run scores. We go to extra innings tied 1-1. Top of the 10th, Sun Prairie breaks the tie. Grace Radlin's grounder goes right through the wickets of the shortstop. Run scores, it's 2-1 Cardinals. Later in the inning, Sabrina Ryder Singles to drive-in Radlin. Maddie Gardner strikes out 16 in 10 innings. Final score in 10. Sun Prairie 4, Waukesha North 1. The Cardinals into the state semifinals. And again, Sun Prairie will play Pulaski in the Division I semifinals tomorrow night as Pulaski beat Wilmot 1-0 this afternoon. Belmont is playing the Division V semifinals right now. It's in the fourth. It's Belmont 4 and Tri-County 0. The Brewers' first 2 games against the Miami Marlins at Miller Park were pretty lousy. The Marlins won 16-0 and 8-3, but this afternoon, order is restored and the Brewers got game 1 of the series. Home runs are a big part of the Brewers' win. Christian Yelich hit his 23rd. Mike Moustakas had 2 homers today. Moustakas now up to 16 homers. And Brewers pitcher Freddie Peralta had a great day. Look at all these strikeouts for Peralta. 9 Ks in his 6 innings of work. Final score, Brewers 5, Marlins 1. The Brewers host the Pittsburgh Pirates over the weekend, starting with can holder night tomorrow night. At Wrigley Field, Colorado visits the Cubs. Rockies don't get much against Jose Quintana, but they get enough. Like this run-scoring double by Ian Desmond. Final score, Rockies 3, Cubs 1. Cubs and Brewers tied for first again. By the way, the Cubs are going to sign closer Craig Kimbrell to a 3-year, $43 million deal. The Badger men's basketball team will be on the road for the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Wisconsin goes to North Carolina State Wednesday, December 4th. Last year, the Wolfpack came to Madison, and the Badgers came away with a 79-75 win. Kevin Durant has been ruled out of Game 4 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night. Warriors coach Steve Kerr says Durant's calf isn't ready yet, so he'll sit again tomorrow. Toronto leads the best of 7, 2-1. And the FIFA Women's World Cup begins tomorrow with the first games in France. The United States women's team doesn't play until next Tuesday when the U.S. plays Thailand. Lots of reasons to watch, and one of them is Rose Lavelle. She'll be the first former Badger soccer player to play in a Women's World Cup. Lavelle has scored 7 goals for the U.S. national team this season. Wasn't that long ago she was running around at McClyman Complex. Now she's on the world's biggest stage, and she's good, too.
Yeah, very exciting. I'll have to keep an eye on her in that. And Gary broke the Kimbrell news last night on Facebook. I saw you were at Wrigley last night.
I was at Wrigley Field, and the fog was rolling in from center field. We had that wind shift off the lake, so the temperature dropped about 20 degrees. But Brewers and Cubs it's going to be a close race all the way through the end of the year. Mark my words. Weather forecast a little easier to deal with. There's been a couple of little showers and thunderstorms that popped up near the Illinois state line. Those have dropped to the south and pretty much are out of the picture now. Temperatures are still pretty warm away from Lake Michigan. Madison's at 84, but Waukesha's at 70 in Milwaukee. Mitchell Field, only 60 degrees near the lake. By tomorrow, look for high temperatures, low 80s for tomorrow and Saturday. Plenty of sunshine. Sunday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, still around 80 degrees. A little cooler for next week with high temperatures, low to mid 70s for the first part of the week, upper 60s on Thursday. Shower thunderstorm chances on Wednesday, and then back to the upper 70s by the end of the week.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thank you for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.